Greetings, this is Frosty Thundertrod, Telno Beastmaster of the Sundered Guard. And today it's going to be Ashes of Creation. It's been a while since I've done an Ashes video. I'm still participating in the Alpha 2. I have gotten PTR access now, and there is a PTR test coming up on Wednesday the 18th that I will be participating in, at least in part. Supposedly this is a back-end test, so nothing specific on that. So I guess I'm just going to be having a naked dance party on the borders between the server workers and see if I can just cause some troubles, with me bouncing around back and forth and doing weird things. I wish there were some emotes, otherwise I'd be firing emotes like crazy right on the border. Try to create as many problems as I can think of in the back end. Of course, everybody knows now that Phase 3 was delayed. Probably a good thing considering how much of a struggle Phase 2 has been. Phase 1 was just downright amazing for where we were at, since at that point it had been years since there had been anything, any real proof of life out of Ashes of Creation. Talking about server worker edge, there's one right there. That's the reason why the game hung up. See, it's right here. So I guess Wednesday I'll just be doing a lot of this. Some crafting changes were brought in to effect. One of the negative ones is that it requires a lot more materials to craft anything now. And for most people, just finding 5 or 10 pieces of copper or zinc was challenging, and now they're needing to find 30, which is pretty much a nearly impossible task. Unless you just have a whole bunch of people going out and gathering materials to feed one single crafter. Animal husbandry is kind of that way too. Finding tier 1 animals to tame or pet to death can be quite challenging, like this horse here. But once you actually get over the hump into tier 2, there's a lot more things to pet to death in the world. But on a positive note, you get a lot more experience now from harvesting. So it's more effective to level up your character just by going out and harvesting. I'm level 9 now, and I've done almost nothing but pure harvesting to get here. I've done a little bit of hunting here and there, but mostly just harvesting and fighting to defend myself. However, a side effect of leveling up that way is that you get no weapon experience. So, as you level up, your weapon abilities don't level up with you, which can create a power imbalance that can put you in a very dangerous and exposed position. I'm going to run over to the bear cave. I was hoping to find, where I was up there, usually you can find a group of 3 horses and then a couple spiders that you can tame. Speed things up, I'll cast my run buff on my mount. See? So now my mount has trader, so instead of being 140%, it's 154% speed. I'll head over to the bear cave and see if there's any bears over there. But one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is supposedly some point next month, the summoner is going to go onto the PTR, which is really something I've been looking forward to. Because one of the things that I've been kind of pushing on with is the fact that my chosen race, the Telnar, aren't in the game yet. My chosen primary archetype, the Summoner, also is not in game yet. I'm playing the Ranger right now, which I gotta say, really, I can see what they're trying to do with the Ranger, but the Ranger is definitely a PvP class, and I would say even a group PvP class. What it's really good for is just having a couple of Rangers just focus fire and eliminate a target right off the bat. They don't do so well solo, which is kind of surprising considering solo is what Rangers usually are best at most games. Ooh, some ruby. I want this. And there's a bear over there I can tame too. So the last dev live stream they did was about the summoner, and we finally got some decent information on it. Oh, let's see. Move stuff around. What do I want to get rid of? Yeah, I don't need that cocoon for anything. Okay, green rubies. Alright, let's tame a bear. Let's see if it survives being petted. And they've also said that during this time, they talked about some of the summoner's abilities. Basically, there's 3 different pets: the guardian, the hunter, and the spiritualist. Oh, it's a green bear. Oh, it's a dead bear. It didn't survive being petted. Weak bear. Some otters, and there's another bear over there I can pet. I use camouflage to get past these otters. They're not a threat to me, but I'm not here to fight, so I'd rather not fight them. Oh, that's one thing that has changed here in 2.5. This Ranger's camouflage skill now actually works. Pet the bear. Anyway, back to the summoner. They changed from the original concept quite a bit, especially in the art style. Because in the art style, it was thought that summoners would draw from the 3 different... that bear didn't survive being petted either. It's another weak bear. Would draw from the 3 planes of existence. The physical world, the spiritual world, and the void. That's where some of the demon-like pictures came in from, but it's been changed to now summoners are associated with the goddess Vera, the god of creation, the immortal phoenix herself. I guess she's the chief pantheon of this world. There's a lot of lore out there, but it's not coherent, I don't think. It needs some more fleshing out. At least for the parts that are available to people like me. Somebody already petted that bear to death. So your summons are basically souls that have been brought into the world by the power of the summoner prematurely before being born into the world naturally. So at low levels, oh, there's somebody else here killing bears before I can pet them to death. And that's a mob, not a node. So to begin with, they've lost their kind of distinctiveness at first, and they start off being mostly translucent or see-through because they're spirits. And then as you level up, your pets become more physical as you gain levels and experience. And then they also take on additional features when you select your secondary archetype to become a class. Such in my case, I'm going to be a Summoner Ranger, which makes the Beastmaster. So I imagine my summons will take on a more animalistic form. And then summoners also have abilities beyond just being, a summoner. They're not a pure pet class. They have the ability to snare. Oh, this bear survived being petted. So I'll get rid of the common bear to pick up the green bear. Need to go to town. Oh, drop something blue. Probably blue poop. Yep, it is blue poop. So summoners have some direct damage ability. It's going to be flagged mostly as spirit damage. They have dots and snares and stuns, which is all kind of makes sense. But what I did not expect was the summoners are going to have dispel abilities. That was something I was not expecting, but it's great news. It's a unique characteristic to the summoner, because nothing else can really dispel other classes' magic effects. So in some ways, I would say the summoner's almost going to be an anti-caster caster. That's a regular bear, but at least that bear survived being petted. Kind of, I would say they're probably more of a divine or religious caster instead of an arcane caster, if such thing could be said to apply to Ashes of Creation. That's a D&D concept. But I guess Ashes of Creation did begin as a Pathfinder campaign, so that might have been what was going on there anyway. So I'm very excited to give the summoner a try. Because the tank pet is the guardian, and it kind of looks like a golem with 2 shields for hands. That would be kind of cool if as the Beastmaster begins to look something like a werebear. Or maybe some sort of a tortoise-like creature with tortoise shells for shields. Ooh. It might be a bit unusual, but something like the shields, the armor plates that the Triceratops has around the back of its head to protect its neck. That might be cool, but yeah, I can see something like that. Oh, yay, there's a bear. See if I can get over there before that other guy pets it. Then the hunter is a quadruped, kind of a dog-looking thing. So I can see that, becoming more wolf or cat-like as a Beastmaster. And the spiritualist looks kind of like it's humanoid. I would almost say its native form looks kind of like a tree ant, or maybe an elf. So maybe it's So yeah, this one didn't survive being petted. It's actually not a bad haul for... Oh, I see another bear. And the summoner's role in battle really does depend on which pet they have out. They can't have all 3 pets out at the same time. They can only have 1 out at a time. So if you have the tank pet, you start to take more of a tank role. If you have the DPS pet out, you can take more of a DPS role, and if you have the spiritualist pet out, you take more of a healer support role. I think when I'm out here running around by myself, how I spend most of the game, I'll probably have my tank pet out, and then I'll focus on doing damage with myself. That bear survived being petted. See if any more bears are gonna spawn. And it also makes me wonder just how the classes are going to form. Like, I can see how the ranger and the summoner might play well together, because the ranger has a lot of it's almost all ranged abilities. Like, I'm holding daggers now, but if you notice when I go into combat, I'll find something here to shoot quick like. All of my actual attacks are bow attacks, even though I'm not even using a bow. My ranged weapon is a book. Gotta find something to shoot. Yeah, there's something I can shoot. Alright, as you can see, I'm holding, well, there's something better. It's by itself. I don't have to worry about pulling anything else. So as you can see, I'm holding, daggers. But when I trigger my abilities, it always goes to a bow animation, except for disengage. And there's been a lot of disappointment spoken about Wave 2.5, which we're in, which I can see why. It was a pretty rough wave or phase, and it wasn't really marked with any big improvements. It was marked with a whole bunch of small improvements. Improved UI, like all the placeholder icons are gone off of my action bar now, and my weapons always render. My armor doesn't go invisible anymore. Various bars, have little annotations in them now to help express just how far along you are in the process. HDR is working better in the game now because I do have an HDR monitor. Although that said, OBS can't record in HDR, so you will see standard definition, standard dynamic range, not high dynamic range. I don't want to mess with those 1-star banners. That's another thing they've done, is they've been playing around with the balance a little bit. Because for the most part, 1-star enemies pose no real threat to you, and they were supposed to be like a serious challenge to fight a 1-star enemy on your own. And now they are. Now I can generally take on a 1-star enemy at my level, but it is a close run thing. If I flub my rotation or something, I will die. This camp has been flushed out a little bit too. That's nice to see. Highwayman Raider. I'm gonna try to fight him. I'm gonna open up with snipe at extreme range. Disengage. Barrage. Power shot. Disengage again. Snipe. See, that was a close fight right there. One more hit would have decided it in his favor. And he didn't, and this was a non-unstarred mob. But that's also because, like I said, I've been leveling mostly through harvesting, so my weapon skills aren't up to snuff. No, those 2 and 3% little passives, over the course of several levels really do add up, even though individually, it doesn't look all that exciting to take a passive that, does 2% more, but suddenly, I'm almost level 10. I'm coming up on level 10 now, so, 2 and 3% over the course of 10 levels makes a huge difference. And of course, it's not a 2% plus 2% plus 2%. It's 2% times 2% times 2% times 2%. So the effect of stacking. No, I was not stacking, because stacking would be just plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. What is the proper term for that? Exponential. No. Compounding, that's it. Compounding interest, yes. So if it was 100 and plus 2%, that becomes 102. And then 102 plus 2% becomes 104.02, 0.04. And as you continue to just stack and stack and stack, your compounding benefits become much stronger than what they appear to be at first. Get back out of this rain or whatever this is. There's the dynamic weather system is finally working in game now. Kind of. As you can see, there's still some weather showing, but it's not. But it's the static weather for winter, not whatever this is. Anyway, I think I've kind of meandered and talked about random stuff long enough. I'm not sure I was coherent enough to actually make a point with this video. But it's been a while since I made an Ashes of Creation video, and I just wanted to make one. Thank you very much for watching.